Ever get that feeling like something big is brewing, something that could really shake things up, especially when it comes to, well, everything we do on our phones these days?
Yeah, definitely. That something's about to change vibe.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today, the Pi Open Network.
Pi Network.
You got it. We're going to unpack what it is, why it's causing such a stir, and the potential impact it could actually have, in the real world.
Sounds intriguing.
Okay, so for starters, a little background. Back in 2019,
Okay.
a couple of Stanford grads came up with this wild idea.
Mm.
What if, hear me out, what if you could mine cryptocurrency on your phone?
Just using a phone.
Yeah. No crazy hardware, no sky-high electric bills, just a tap on an app every day.
Huh. That's a far cry from the usual image of crypto mining.
Totally different approach.
Okay.
And now, fast forward to February 20th, 2025.
February 20th, 2025.
Got it. That's when the Pi Open Network officially launched.
Okay.
This was a huge shift, moving Pi from a closed network like a testing phase to a fully open, globally connected blockchain.
Big transition.
Huge. And get this, over 65 million active users, or pioneers as they call them, worldwide.
Wow, 65 million. That's a lot of pioneers.
And think about this. Regions like Africa, where 90% of internet access is through mobile.
Right.
This could be a complete game changer.
Yeah, definitely. Mobile first. That's key.
So, our goal today, to cut through all the hype and help you, our listener, understand what Pi Open Network is and why it might just matter to you.
Makes sense. Let's break it down.
So first things first, what exactly is the Pi Open Network? Like, what does open even mean in this context?
So before February 2025, think of Pi Network as this private garden. Walls up, everything happening inside.
Okay, closed off.
Yeah, this is their enclosed network phase, starting back in December 2021. The blockchain was running, but it was isolated, like a beta test.
Sort of a dress rehearsal.
Exactly.
Correct.
Users were mining Pi, going through KYC verification, moving coins around internally. Testing.
But with real implications down the line.
Absolutely. And by January 2024, they'd already moved 9 million Pi to the main network,
Impressive.
aiming for 10 million before going fully open. Then boom, February 20th, 2025, the walls came down. Pi Open Network went live.
Connected to the world.
Exactly. It could finally interact with other blockchains, the whole crypto ecosystem.
Okay, so let's talk numbers.
Right.
What kind of activity are we seeing on this open network?
Oh, it's been busy. Users are migrating their Pi like crazy, averaging around 200,000 migrations every single day.
Wow.
And with 18 million users KYC'd by launch, that's a potential market cap of, get this, $1.1 billion.
No small potatoes. So what makes all these transactions happen so smoothly?
The tech behind Pi. It's called the Stellar Consensus Protocol. Super efficient, designed for speed and low fees.
How fast are we talking?
Thousands of transactions per second. And fees, it's usually less than a cent per transaction.
Really?
Yeah. Now compare that to something like Ethereum. Their gas fees can be nuts. I've seen them hit $50 for a single transaction.
Yeah.
Right. So, stellar. Smooth sailing, no traffic jams.
Okay, so why go open? Why all this effort to connect?
It boils down to utility.
Okay.
By opening up, Pi can interact with other blockchains, integrate with exchanges, and let businesses in.
Expanding its reach.
Exactly. It's a sign they're ready for Pi to be used in the real world, not just within the app.
So what does this openness actually mean for, let's say, someone listening right now?
Well, first off, your Pi coins aren't stuck in the app anymore. You could potentially use them in decentralized applications, dApps. Imagine apps for online marketplaces, payments, all running on the Pi network.
Give me an example. How could this affect someone's daily life?
Okay, imagine you're somewhere where mobile data is expensive. A local developer could create a dApp that lets you pay for data with Pi.
Interesting.
No more going through big telecom companies or banks. Especially in Africa, where mobile money is already huge, $500 billion annually, even small fee reductions with Pi could mean big savings.
So what about trading? Can people actually trade their Pi now?
That's a big one, right? And the answer is yes. Pi is now listed on several major exchanges. OKX, Bidget, Gate.io, MEXC, and more are coming.
So someone who's been mining Pi can actually trade it for other cryptocurrencies or even cash out.
Potentially, yes. You can trade Pi for USDT, Bitcoin, and depending on the exchange and local regulations, even cash out to fiat currency.
So if I'm listening in Lagos or Nairobi, I could actually see some real-world value from my Pi.
That's the idea. Of course, all trading comes with risk, so it's important to do your research and understand that.
For sure. And it's not just about individuals trading. Businesses are getting involved too, right?
Definitely. Businesses can now join the Pi ecosystem through KYB verification. Know your business. Think of a shop in Nairobi accepting Pi, or a startup in Cape Town building a Pi-based app.
So that shop owner in Nairobi could accept Pi as payment for, let's say, groceries.
Exactly. And get this, in the first month after opening up, over 500 businesses applied for KYB verification.
Wow, that's a good sign.
To build trust, verified businesses are often publicly listed, so users know who's legit.
Smart. What other upgrades have come with the open network?
Well, they've improved the Pinode software, added public rankings for node operators, so you can see who's contributing the most to the network.
Interesting.
And we're seeing third-party services pop up too. Independent wallet apps, even trading bots.
That's cool.
Shows you the growing interest in development around Pi.
Okay, let's get a little more concrete. Can you paint us a real-world scenario? How could all these pieces of the Pi Open Network come together?
Sure. Imagine a cocoa farmer in Ghana. They usually have to go through middlemen, pay fees, all that.
Yeah.
Now picture them listing their cocoa beans on a Pi-based app. A buyer, maybe overseas, buys the cocoa with Pi. Payments is instant, direct to the farmer's digital wallet.
Cutting out the middleman.
Exactly. And compared to something like PayPal with its 3% fees, Pi could be way cheaper.
Makes a big difference, especially when you consider the millions of people in Africa's informal trading sector.
Absolutely. Pi could be a game changer for them.
So for our listener who's been diligently mining Pi on their phone,
Yes.
why should all this open network stuff matter to them? What's the takeaway?
The open network gives your Pi coins purpose. Remember the declining rewards formula from 2022?
Mining rates going down.
Right. Those Pi coins you mined at 0.01 or 0.02 Pi per hour, they now have the potential to be traded, used to buy stuff, have real-world utility.
They're not just sitting in the app anymore.
Exactly. They could actually become a valuable asset.
And what about security? I know that's a big concern with anything crypto-related.
Definitely. And Pi seems to be taking it seriously. That KYB verification for businesses is key. They're thoroughly vetting everyone to build trust and prevent scams.
Makes sense.
Plus, the Pi community is actively involved. People on X, for example, are constantly calling out suspicious stuff and promoting verified businesses.
So it's a community effort to keep things safe.
It seems to be working.
Now, looking ahead, what are some exciting possibilities for Pi Open Network?
Well, one big one is smart contracts. Imagine automated agreements on the Pi blockchain. Rent payments happening automatically when conditions are met. Digital chamas, those informal savings groups, managed securely with code.
So even more efficiency and transparency.
Exactly. And then there's the potential growth.
Yeah.
People are buzzing about Binance, one of the biggest crypto exchanges, maybe listing Pi. There was a poll in 2024, 87% of the community wanted it. Nothing concerned yet. But if Binance lists Pi, we could see trading volumes explode, maybe hit $5 million daily or more.
And that's not even considering the size of the Pi user base.
Right. 150 million app downloads. That's way more than established cryptos like Cardano. If even 10% of those Pi users actively start using their coins,
That's a lot of people.
you're talking about a $100 million economy, potentially.
Wow.
And in Africa, where many people don't have bank accounts, Pi could be a bridge to financial inclusion.
So for our listener who's ready to dive into this open network world, what should they do? What are some practical first steps?
Okay, first, if you haven't already, complete your KYC. It's crucial. Over 50% have done it. You should too. Then, make sure you've migrated your Pi to the Mainnet. They're doing it in waves, so get on board.
And for someone interested in trading or using Pi in those dApps,
Start exploring the exchanges. Maybe try a small trade on OKX, just one Pi, to get the hang of it. Keep an eye on the Pi browser. That's where the dApps will be. And remember, safety first. Only deal with KYB verified businesses.
good advice. Any final tips for staying informed about Pi Open Network?
Follow the conversations on platforms like X. The Pi community is super active there, sharing updates, news, warnings. It's a great way to stay in the loop.
So it sounds like Pi Open Network is more than just an update. It's a whole new chapter for Pi, moving it from a mining app to a potential player in the global financial system.
Definitely. And for those who've been mining Pi, this is a chance to see their efforts potentially turn into real value.
It's exciting to see where this all goes.
Yeah, beginning of something new.
So the key takeaway for everyone, Pi Open Network is a big deal. It opens up a whole world of possibilities for its users.
And for you listening, it begs the question, how might decentralized currencies like Pi change the way we think about money, especially as mobile-first economies continue to grow. It's something to think about.
And for those who want to learn more and connect with other Pi enthusiasts, remember those online communities we mentioned? There's a whole world of information and discussion out there. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and we'll see you on our next deep dive.
See you then.